Hello, I'm Doug DeWitt, Transfer Paper Product Manager here at Condé Systems, welcoming you to our studio in beautiful Mobile, Alabama, where we're going to present to you a workflow video regarding the new formulation of Condé paper that we are calling Low Temp LaserDark No Cut. First, what we're going to do is show you how the paper has changed from its original formulation so that you know the advantages of buying this new formulation paper. Once we've done that, we're going to move over to the computer so I can show you the driver settings that you need to employ with the Oki Pro Color 920 WT in order to get this new paper to run successfully. Once we've done that, we're going to go to our heat press so I can show you how to apply this new transfer to a garment. And then once we've covered that, we'll summarize the points that we've learned in today's video. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about how the new Low Temp LaserDark No Cut differs from the original formulation. Now that we've cracked open the packaging, let's see how the new formulation of low temperature LaserDark No Cut differs from the original formulation. If you've ever purchased the original formulation, the A sheet used to be a coated paper, but now it is switched to this transparency film. You'll notice on the transparency film you have a frosted side and a gloss side. It is the frosted side of this sheet that is the printable side. So remember, when you load this paper into your Oki C920 WT or your Oki C711 WT, you want to load the paper frosted side up, glossy side down. Also, the B sheet or transfer sheet has changed in formulation. Instead of using 390 degrees Fahrenheit to fuse the emulsion to the toner, we are now going to fuse at 315 to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a much lower set temperature. It also makes it easier to weed. So let's go ahead and move to the monitor so I can show you how to set up the driver to run this new formulation paper. Now that we're at the computer, let's go ahead and detail how we set up the driver to run this new Low Temp LaserDark No Cut through an Oki C920 WT. The first thing I'm going to do is mirror or reverse my graphic. While that feature is available in the driver, me personally, I like to do it through the software. Next, let's go ahead and access the driver by clicking on File, Print. We want to make sure that the Oki Pro 920 WT is our destination printer, and we're going to click on Preferences to access the driver. You'll notice in the driver we've got 4 tabs: Layout, Paper Quality, Job Options, and Color. Let's discuss how you need to set up the driver to get the paper to run through properly. The first thing that you want to do is make sure your orientation is selected correctly. I will change the orientation from portrait to landscape since this is a landscape design. Next, let's go to the Paper Quality tab. As far as our paper source is concerned, remember, we always want to run transfer paper from the multi-purpose tray. So let's click on the pull-down menu and let's select multi-purpose tray. Now, let's click on the Advanced button here to access the PostScript options of the driver. When it comes to paper size, make sure you have the appropriate size paper selected for what you're printing, either letter or tabloid, which letter being 8.5 by 11 and tabloid being 11 by 17. Next, we want to move to the ICM method, the image color management. The default is that the host system handles the color management. But remember, since we have a white toner printer that differs from a standard 4-color process printer, we want the ICM to be handled by the printer. Under the ICM intent, the 2 options I use is graphics for line art, clip art, or vector art designs, or pictures for photographic reproductions. Since this is a graphic, let's stick with graphics. Now I want to go down to media check. I want to make sure that my media check is turned off. Under media type, since we are printing onto a film, we do not want to use this printer setting, which is a plain paper default setting. Let's click on the pull-down menu and let's select Transparency. Last adjustment we want to make on this screen is the tray switch. we want to turn the tray switch off so that the printer does not pull any paper from the cassette tray. Let's click OK to apply these changes, and let's move to the Job Options tab. Now whenever I'm using a self-weeding paper like the Condé Low Temperature LaserDark No Cut, I want to set my quality to Fine Detail, which is 600 by 1200 dpi. Because I use the transparency setting, what I want to do on the output bin feature, I want to change it to Stacker Face Up, which means it is going to use the exit tray instead of coming out over the top. That's an important feature to remember. Here is the mirror print feature of the driver. Now, if you want to go ahead and send graphics and let the driver mirror reverse, you can do that. But like I said, I like to do it in the software, so I'm going to disable this feature for now. The last tab I need to go to is the Color tab. I want to make sure that I am set up for color prints, and I want to make sure that my white is turned on because we're going to go against a dark garment. So make sure your white is turned on if you want to use the white toner from the Oki Pro Color 920 WT. But now that all these changes have been made, we can click OK. I'll go ahead and generate a few copies, apply the changes, and now let's go ahead and send this job to the printer. Now that we have our film sheet printed, we can go ahead and apply the emulsion with the transfer sheet. Let's go over the steps on how to do that. What you want to do is lay your film sheet down so that your mirrored or reverse side is facing up. Next, we're going to take our transfer sheet, which has the white-based emulsion, cover our foil sheet. Once we have the sheets lined up, we'll swing the heat press over and lock the press into position. Because this is a low temperature paper, we are no longer at 390 degrees Fahrenheit to fuse these two sheets. The recommended temperature from the manufacturer is between 315 to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. As far as the time is concerned, you want to go 90 seconds if you are fusing A-size sheets. If you're using tabloid sheets, you want to go a full 2 minutes to fuse the two sheets. Once the timer goes off, we're going to lift the press and peel those two sheets apart while they're warm. So check back in with me in a second and we'll run through that step. When the timer goes off, we lift our heat press and we peel the two sheets while they're still warm in a smooth, steady motion, like so. Looks very good to me. If we've done it correctly, we should see an indentation of our original design in the transfer sheet. But once we've used this transfer sheet, we throw this sheet away. This now becomes our finished transfer. So now let's grab a t-shirt and I'll show you how to apply this design. Now that we have applied emulsion to the transparency film with our B sheet, we can go ahead and apply this design to a garment. But let's cover a couple of steps before we do that. First is, we might notice that the transfer sheet might make a paper indentation around the design. This is normally a white box outline that you might see associated with other self-weeding transfer papers. The nice thing about printing onto a film as opposed to a paper is it's clearly visible. So let's go ahead and cut away those before we apply it to the design. So I'm going to take my scissors here and trim away the edges so I don't get that thin outline around my design. Make another cut here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as we remove the excess white area. Okay, let's throw our scraps away. Let's set our transfer off to the side. And let's take our sticky lint roller. And remember to lint roll the area that is going to be under the press to remove any contaminants that might be on the shirt. Because once we drop the heat press, if there are any contaminants on the shirt, they will become a permanent part of your shirt. So now that we have our area clean, I'm going to swing the platen over and do a quick pre-press. I don't have to necessarily lock the platen into position, but what I'm looking for is any escaping steam, meaning there's moisture in the shirt. But after a few seconds, if you don't see that steam escape, you can go ahead and lift up. Now we have a nice smooth area. Let's go ahead and apply the transfer. Another thing that I like about working with a film as opposed to a paper is it makes it much easier to square and align your design. So let's go ahead, place the design where we want it to appear. We will swing our heat press over, lock the press into position. To apply the low temperature LaserDark No Cut to a 100% cotton garment, you want to go between 285 to 310 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds. However, if you're going to 100% polyester, you're going to drop your temperature down to 265 degrees Fahrenheit, again for 30 seconds. But once your 30 seconds is up, we lift the press, and what we want to do is let this film sheet completely cool before we remove it from the shirt. So let's give this a couple of minutes to cool down. We'll peel the film away and you'll see the finished result. Once the film sheet feels cool to the touch, it's safe to remove. So let's go ahead and peel it away. And now we have our finished transfer on our shirt. I hope our camera can pick this up, but what you're going to see is a very shiny, glossy finish to this new low temperature LaserDark No Cut. However, you may not necessarily want that shine or gloss effect. It's very easy to fix. All you have to do is cover the exposed image with a silicone sheet, bring your heat press over, using the same temperature and the same pressure, just press your exposed design for 10 seconds with the silicone sheet. When your 10 seconds is up, lift the press, remove the silicone sheet, and that's how you take the shine out of the low temperature LaserDark No Cut. So you can control how the design looks on the garment by whether you do a finishing step with a silicone sheet or you leave it glossy. So now let's summarize what we've learned in today's video. So let's go ahead and cover the points we've learned today about the new low temperature LaserDark No Cut. Remember, it is no longer using a paper sheet that feeds through your Oki white toner printer. It's a film sheet, and that film is going to give you some advantages, such as being able to line up your image on your shirt and being able to see the outline that the B or transfer sheet makes onto the film in case you use too much pressure when you combine the two sheets. Having the lower temperature, it's making it much easier to fuse the emulsion to the toner, and you're not burning your fingertips like you may have done with the old formulation. As far as the durability is concerned, we're going to do a durability test on this product. If it performs just as well as the old formulation, we think we've got a winner here with the new low temperature LaserDark No Cut. So I would encourage you to contact your account manager to get a 10-sheet sample pack of this product to test in your white toner printer. You can contact us directly at 1-800-826-6332, or you can contact me for a sample pack. My direct extension is 204. Make sure to tune in to Condé TV for more videos regarding the white toner printer. But until then, I'm Doug DeWitt, Transfer Paper Product Manager here at Condé Systems. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.